This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 2. It says, "Vanity of vanity, saith the preacher, vanity of vanities, all is vanity." I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Yahawashi, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of great millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit, but one that they continue to endure and be sincere. And the mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth in the truth. But one that they continue to endure and be sincere. Shalom to the Akwatiyam, the believers of this faith and this truth, are willing that you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent, virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. The title of this lesson is "All is Vexation of the Spirit, except for the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi." I'm going to read Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 1 and 2 in the NLT. "These are the words of the teacher, King David's son, who ruled in Jerusalem. Everything is meaningless, says the teacher, completely meaningless." Drop it down to verse 14. Because anything outside of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, especially that pertains to us occupying this flesh, on this side, is really meaningless. We have an objective, right? It's Ecclesiastes chapter 1 in verse 14. And we're reading the KJV and the NLT. It says, "I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of the spirit." In the NLT, "I observed everything going on under the sun, and really, it is all meaningless, like chasing the wind." Right? Because if we go to Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 6, which we're going to go to that chapter later on, without the Lord's wisdom, we're regarded as nothing. I'm inspired to do this lesson because doing, my reading, like what brothers were saying at camp and after camp, every time you get in this word, regardless if you read something already, it hits you again. Ecclesiastes hit me again. John hit me again. Matthew hit me again. Revelations, when you get into these breakdowns, it hits you again the more that you go through the precepts or you teach it again. You miss something, you're like, wait, hold on. Oh, that was a good point right there. And for me, I want to overcome this flesh so much. And I want to be more occupied with the wisdom and knowledge of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. We understand when you get more knowledge, it becomes grief and a sorrow, right? Because of when you see the 2/3, when you see how brothers is debating or they bring a false understanding, being built up with this wisdom and knowledge and understanding, precepts start coming to mind. You start seeing that brothers is not moved with that spirit, right? But then you'll start seeing things of the world that people are occupied in, and they hold it to heart, which is vanity and vexation of the spirit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up what does vexation means, right? Vexation is longing or striving, of feeding upon or grasping after. Vexation, right? Because a lot of us is striving for the things that's in the world, but it said, they're all meaningless, like chasing the wind, right? A lot of y'all are striving, chasing the wind, right? Because we see in Sirach 4, actually, let me get that real quick. Sirach 4 and 28, it says, "Strive for the truth until death, and Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi shall fight for thee." So we know that the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the Lord is not vexation of the spirit, right? But of course, it drives you, right? Because the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the Lord is not falling into vanity. It's not meaningless, right? It has a lot of benefits to it, right? So let's go back to Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 17 in KJV. It says, "And I gave my heart, my mind, to know wisdom, and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is vanity and vexation of the spirit," right? It's just like him chasing the wind. That's that vexation of the spirit. "But outside of the wisdom, he went to go seek madness and folly." And look at us being in the flesh after Adam and Eve. A lot of us have ourselves occupied in folly. Some of us have ourselves in madness. A lot of people hold money to higher than a wisdom, knowledge, understanding. People hold money over the prophecies, right? And too worried about cutting a Christian or debating. You know, of course, I like dressing, I like looking fly, but a lot of us still reflect ourselves on things of the world. You know, the more you grow in wisdom, the more you understand, you know, this is not our place of rest. I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to look like nobody. I don't want them to point me in the same direction as anybody, right? But let's go back to verse 2. It says, vanity of vanity, saith the preacher. Vanity of vanity, all is vanity, right? So the more we grow in this wisdom, and especially Sirach, Proverbs, even in what Yahawashi was teaching, and we see when we just focus on the teaching, you don't focus on, oh, what was they doing outside the teaching? You know, of course you want to balance in your life, but when we focus on the teaching, it helps us keep our eyes single, right? Because the flesh go off as soon as we drift away, you know? So let's go to verse 13 real quick. Verse 13, it says, I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This sore travail have God given to the Son of Man to exercise thereon. Right? In the NLT it says, I devoted myself to search for understanding and to explore by wisdom everything being done under heaven. I soon discovered that God has dealt a tragic existence to the human race. Right? So even with us, when we start seeing, when we get the wisdom and knowledge of the Lord, when we start pursuing the things of this world, like the wisdom of this world is not compared to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Hey, we need to live, right? So now you're pursuing money, you're pursuing wealth, because when we go, especially in the prologues, but of course, if you go into history, Solomon was the wisest and the richest king out of all the history of Israel, right? But all those things was vanity. Yes, he had women upon women, which as men love women, right? Talking to the men first. But a lot of those things be vanity, especially when we go to Paul, where sometimes a woman will take you away from your work, you know? But if she's a God-fearing woman and she's built up in her role, no woman is allowing you to give her more time than Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, you know? But at the end of the day, with wisdom, what did he say in Spider-Man? I think, maybe I might quote it wrong, so I'll just use this phrase. With wisdom come great responsibility, you know? And later when you see in the history of Solomon, in order to have the wisdom of the Lord, he was able to judge the nation of Israel. So going to Ecclesiastes chapter 2, this is a good book, you know? Verse 3, I'm gonna read verse 3 and 12. It says, in the KJV, it says, I sought in my heart to give myself unto wine, yet acquainting my heart with wisdom, and to lay hold on folly, till I might see what was that good for the sons of man, which they should do under the heaven all the days of their life. So he's searching what we can do under the sun, right? And we understand when you go to Ecclesiastes 3:16, under the sun is the place of judgment. So even more with this wisdom, we're trying to truly live a simple life. But guess what? We're in a captivity where things is pushed on us, right? Of course we're going to go to an amusement park. Of course we're going to go to a movie. But guess what? Some of us do this that is in his faith, not this face. And we drown ourselves with things that's of this world that are totally meaningless, right? That's not going to plant seeds or bear fruit, right? Drop it down to verse 12. This what stands out to me. It says, I turn myself to behold wisdom and madness and folly. For what can the man do that cometh after the king? Even that which have been already done. So he's checking all the madness and folly that we can do, right? When we go to, I think a classic is Deuteronomy 28:28. I believe, Lord willing, this is correct, because I know this is one of the curses, right? Yes, Deuteronomy 28:28, it says, Yahawah shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. So if he's searching my madness and folly, the Lord smite us with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. Right? Madness in the mind, blindness in the mind, astonishment in the mind. Why do we want to be a superstar? I want to be the best rapper, the best dancer. That's being an astonishment. We're getting hit with those things, right? Instead of trying to be, what's better than being a superstar? Trying to be one of the men of the Lord or being a daughter of Zion. And when you do that, it comes with you seeking the wisdom, right? Because in order for us to understand these scriptures, the spirit, the Rakakwadash, the spirit of wisdom has to be upon you. Right? So going back, let's go to Ecclesiastes again. We're going to go to chapter 7 in verse 23 to 25. It says, all this have I proved by wisdom. I said I will be wise, but it was far from me. That which is far off and exceeding deep, who can find it out? I applied my heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom in the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. So now when we come in this faith, we get to understand that wickedness would draw us away from the Lord. Right? Now, like my son said earlier, he said, why would the Lord, I forgot what he said. He said, why would he allow us, or why would he let wickedness in the world then? You know, or why would he allow us to actually do wickedness? Because really, you know, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi has the power to remove it. But it was all Isaiah 46:10. The end was declared since the beginning. So if we were already obeying the Lord when we go to 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter, verse 18 and 9, before the heavens and the earth was created, when the elect, the angels was with the Lord, which we are in the earth now, we obeyed the Lord. But when he put us in the earth, we started to walk away from him. Why you think in the time of the sons of God, Adam, the sons of God, in the time of Noah, they was going off. So some of those was the chosen bloodline that drowned in that flood. Just like when it comes to when the destruction comes with Yahawah, before he comes, the 2/3 gonna get it the worst. Even nations that's in Babylon and in Israel and other places, right, they're gonna be consumed. Because judgment is gonna happen in the house of Israel, starting with the ones that know so-called this truth. I'm saying it's so-called because they're so-called in the truth, right? Because if they get destroyed, they wasn't of this truth. And the ones that don't know, you know, the Lord is watching and seeing our hearts. That's why it's very important that you seek the Lord's face. And seeking the Lord's face is you knowing your history on what you did wrong, and how some of the men of the Lord was moving right. We're all filthy rags. Even the men of the Lord, when they come back again, they don't know none of these things. Ecclesiastes 1, verse 9 to 11, they had to be retaught again. Right? That's why Solomon said in verse 13, he said he gave his heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. And for us, now that we get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and men of the Lord, we have to do a diligent search. You know, it's not just gonna fall on your lap. Yes, you might read for an hour. You got good. You taking notes. You might take a break. Maybe later on in the afternoon or later on in the evening, you might get in there again. Maybe your attention span good where you might read for 3 hours and get a deep study. You might go in other history books to add on, especially when we're talking about major captivities, Babylon, Rome, the Persian Medes, the Greeks, right? When you getting into words, you're looking at the etymology of words, maybe languages, right? There's so much learning in these scriptures. That's why this lesson is vexation of the spirit. Many things are vexation of the spirit, but the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is not, right? I mean, that actually sounds better, right? Many things are the vexation of the spirit, but the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is not, right? So now, let's go to chapter 2. We're going to read verse 11, 17, and 26 in the NLT. It says, but as I looked at everything, I had worked so hard to accomplish. It was also meaningless in chasing the wind. There was nothing really worthwhile anymore, right? Because when you go in the third chapter, I believe, where Solomon makes a pool in the courts near his house, right? And he was talking about all the things that he had, this and this and that. But guess what? All those things is vanity. When we even go back to the history of Solomon, which we're going to read in Solomon, Wisdom of Solomon 9, he prayed to the Lord for wisdom and understanding. When he could have prayed for riches, he could have prayed for this, he could have prayed for all the nations going down to the knee. He prayed for wisdom and understanding. So for me being on this side in this time, it makes me think, if I'm me being in the flesh, mostly all us men, because a lot of men and women sell their souls or sell their self for less, right? Just to be rich, just to be on TV, just to be a celebrity, right? So in the flesh, a lot of us would say the opposite of what Solomon did, you know? So verse 17, it says, so I came to hate life because everything done under the sun is so troubling. Everything is meaningless, like chasing the wind, right? Everything under the sun is troublesome, right? It's like especially with the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the Lord, you be like Xavier off of X-Men. Now we not like the Lord, we ain't got that power, but when you've been around the block, you know, hustling, you've been in these streets, you've been in foster care, you know what's going on with your people. You go outside each and every day and you see how it start hitting you, right? Because they don't have this knowledge, right? They're destroying their body. Our women is promoting themselves, but they say they're high value women, right? But even more, when you grow in wisdom, you see the captivity of what's pushed on your children, what's pushed on your wives, what's pushed on the brothers in this society, right? And of course, it become a vexation. But in your mind, it's like chasing the wind. You got family members chasing the wind, you know? It's like when you see somebody outside talking to themselves. That's people really pursuing their goals. Oh, I gotta get this 6-figure, and they'll do anything by all means to get it. Niggas will kill, steal, and rob for it, right? We see in First Ezra's the 4th chapter, 22 to 27, the man will kill, rob, and steal, and bring to a woman. That is vexation, especially having a woman and she's not a believer of the Lord. She would never have you doing that. Now she got dominion over you if you're doing that. Because a real woman is gonna be submit to her husband. He has the authority, right? This is why we need the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi to know how we should move. This Ecclesiastes 9, verse 18 in KJV. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroyeth much good. Right, I believe that's in what is it? When you even go to second Corinthians, I think that's probably 2:11. You know, our weapons are not carnal. You go to Ephesians 6 and 17. You know, your spiritual sword is the word. Right? Wisdom is better than weapons of war. On this side, because when the Lord comes, we're gonna be actually a weapon ourselves. Man, there's so many things that you can go into when it comes that the wisdom and knowledge of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is so beneficial in many freaking ways. And the things that's going on in this world, this is the number one thing. Isaiah 33 and 6. Wisdom shall be the stability of thy time. What wisdom is that? The wisdom that comes from above, that divine wisdom. You know? So this Proverbs, the 16th chapter, in the KJV, it says, how much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver, right? Wisdom is over gold, right? Understanding is better than chosen silver. And we break our backs for a damn chain. You got niggas in the industry stealing chains and they got money. You know? 17, it says the highway of the upright is to depart from evil, right? The upright is the righteous. And he that keepeth his way preserveth his soul, right? Because if you depart from it, it's because you understand and you fear the Lord. Because fearing the Lord, you're going to abstain from all appearances of evil. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. It says, better it is to be of an humble spirit with the lowly, right? You're lowly being humble, but even lowly in society, right? Because it says, then to divide spoil with the proud. A lot of jake that start getting money, they become proud. It's not a lot of people that got money that's really in this word. A lot of people that got money and that don't. Some of them wouldn't give up their lives for this truth, you know. And that's when that MOTB gonna come. That the MOTB, we gonna see who got that humble spirit, man. It said, verse 20. It says, "He that handleth a matter wisely shall find good, and whoso trusteth in Yahawah is happy as he." You trust in the Lord when you use His wisdom, knowledge, and understanding daily. Not part-time, not when you want to. You use it daily. We're in a battle with this flesh. Your spirit loves the things of the Lord because your spirit was created from the Lord. The flesh was created from the Lord too, but it was only fit to be under the sun, right? This is a chain of darkness, right? It says, the wise in heart shall be called prudent, and the sweetness of the lips increaseth learning. Understanding is a wellspring of life unto him that have it, but the instruction of fools is folly. The heart of the wise teacheth his mouth, and addeth learning to his lips. Pleasant words are an honeycomb, sweet to the soul, the health of the bones. And guess what? This wisdom and knowledge, even in Song of Solomon, is sweet, is a honeycomb, right? It says, there is a way that seemeth right in a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. It said in the ways of men it seemed right. That's why we can't be moving. Yes, I'm a man. Yes, you are a woman, but you're supposed to be moving like a man of God, a man or a woman of God that's moved by that divine power, the Rakakwadash on this side, right? Let's get this last one, right? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9 in the KJV, verse 1 down to 18. O God, my Father, and Lord of mercy, who has made all things with thy words, and ordained man through thy wisdom, right? The Lord ordained man through his wisdom, that he should have dominion over the creatures which thou hast made, right? First Adam was the example, and of course Yahawashi, right? David and Solomon, right? That example is for the elect that was ordained or predetermined, right? It says, in order the world according to equity and righteousness, and execute judgment with an upright heart, which Proverbs 29 verse 2, when the righteous under authority, the earth is going to rejoice. Give me wisdom that sitteth by thy throne, and reject me not from among thy children. What children? The elect, the ones that's going to obtain that salvation, right? You should be asking the Lord to give him the wisdom that sit right next to him, right? It says, for I, thy servant and son of thy handmaid, am a feeble person, and of a short time, and too young for the understanding of judgment and laws. For though a man be never so perfect among the children of men, yet if thy wisdom be not with him, he shall be nothing regarded. Thou hast chosen me to be a king of thy people, and a judge of thy sons and daughters. Right? In order to judge and rule the children of Israel, we're going to need the wisdom and knowledge and understanding. For you to be a prophet, for you to be a teacher, you can't just be this naturally. That's why in the Christian church, none of them niggas is real pastors. None of them is real prophets. They're false prophets, right? Verse 8, it says, thou hast commanded me to build a temple upon the holy mount, and an altar in the city wherein thou dwellest. A resemblance of the holy tabernacle, right, which thou hast prepared from the beginning, right? The holy tabernacle is what was made in the heavens. Oh my goodness. It says, and wisdom was with thee, which thou knowest thy works, and was present when thou madest the world, and knew what was acceptable in thy sight and right in thy commandments. This why it's better for us to cleave and desire the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, because it knows what is acceptable, not the things of this world. It says, oh, send her out of thy holy heavens, and from the throne of thy glory, that being present, she may labor with me, that I may know what is pleasing unto thee. Right? Today, the men of the Lord are laboring with wisdom, because it's not of us. Like the brother Asher, but the apostles, they always say, this is not of us, this is of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. It says, for she knoweth and understandeth all things, and she shall lead me to soberly in my doings, and preserve me in her power. So shall my works be acceptable, and then shall I judge thy people righteously, to be worthy to sit in thy father's seat. Right? The works that we do right now is supposed to be acceptable unto the Lord. Let alone the Rakakwadash is giving us the ability to judge the smallest in great matter. Like we're like a Moses and his officials. Some brothers is judging the great matters and judging all matters. Right? Because we are the men of the Lord. You know, they're going in the scriptures and teaching anything that's unpleasing unto the Lord and things that is pleasing unto the Lord. They're teaching prophecies. They're teaching parables every day, because this is a daily ministry, right? It says, for what man is he that can know the counsel of God? Or who can think what the will of the Lord is? Who can think of it? For the thoughts of mortal man is miserable, right? And that's that vanity and vexation of the spirit. It says, and our devices are but uncertain. For the corruptible body passeth down the soul, in the earthly tabernacle weigheth down the mind, that amuseth upon many things. The earthly tabernacle is this body. This is that temple. That's why that New Testament is so real. You know, your body is an earthly tabernacle. When Yahawashi come, he's gonna, that's the message right there. When Yahawashi come, he's gonna give us that heavenly tabernacle that won't die, that won't have blemishes. It says, and hardly do we guess aright at things that are upon earth, and with labor do we find the things that are before us. For the things that are in heaven, who have searched out? In my counsel, who have known, except thou give wisdom and send the Rakakwadash from above. You need the Lord to send it to you, right? Because if you don't receive it, what are you? It says, for so the ways of them which lived on earth were reformed, and men were taught the things that are pleasing unto thee, were saved through wisdom, right? And who really is wisdom? Through the physical is Yahawashi, right? 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 24, Yahawashi is the wisdom and the power of the Heavenly Father. Or who is sitting on the right hand side of the Father, where it says wisdom was sitting right next to your throne. Yahawashi sitting on the right hand side. You know, the spirit that comes down on behalf of the Heavenly Father, the Son, is the Rakakwadash, and it comes in the name of Yahawashi. Wisdom as a word is spoken as a woman named Sophia, right? But the physical attribute of that spirit is Yahawashi, baby. So we're saved through Yahawashi. There's only one name in the heavens that we're saved, or is one name out the whole earth that we're saved upon, Yahawashi. But Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, we see that in the book of Acts. You know, when you call on that name, hey, when you're trying to heal somebody, you say it in the name of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. You know, who's the mediator? Hamashiach Yahawashi. Who's the author and finisher of our faith? Hamashiach Yahawashi. Who's going to leap off their royal throne to save us, deliver us, and bring destruction? Hamashiach Yahawashi. Who made the heavens and the earth? Right? Hamashiach Yahawashi, who made the elect and the angels that help him make the heavens and the earth. Because Yahawashi is the Lord's will. The elect is Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi's will. That's why the angels is constantly still doing the will of the Heavenly Father. What you don't see is being done. And the things that you do see is already been done through the Spirit. So all things is vexation of the Spirit, but not the wisdom of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. With that, my willingness to edify, straight to the point, and it motivates you to grow. Because the time we in right now, this is the best thing we got. Shalom.